All right, so I'm working on my Revell USS Arizona 1 to 426, and we have issues with this thing straight out of the box. The problem is the hull comes divided like this, but there is no way to make it kind of fit together like it's supposed to. If you notice and try and piece it together, I mean, I got to apply some force in order for the midsection to come together like this. And it really shouldn't be like that. According to the instructions, it says, or it shows that there should be maybe some prongs or something right here that kind of lock each other into place, but that's clearly not on the ship. So I've been posting in a Facebook group for model ships that I joined to get some ideas. Some people are saying that use some of the sprues as basically a brace down the middle of it to keep it together. So I'm obviously going to end up trying that, of course, and see if it helps. Some people even suggested putty, but I mean, I don't know anything about using putty on a model yet. So I think I'm just going to try the braces with the sprue and glue the thing together and see if that will help it stay together. I mean, I could maybe even live with a little seam, because I mean, honestly, how often am I going to look at, you know, the bottom of the ship? But it has to be as close together as possible. So that's what I've got a rubber band here for at the end. I'm gonna put the glue on, and I'm gonna line it all up with rubber bands to help keep it in place. You see, when you put the stern section together, look what it does to the middle. So I don't know. I saw some people say that this was a issue with the fact that these models have been made since 1959 and the molds are old or something like that. I mean, obviously, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't work for this company, but they need to do something about this, because it's pretty annoying right out of the gate to have to mess with something like this. But I am still going to attempt to build the model regardless. So I'm going to quit talking and I'm going to get to it. All right, so I just took the rubber bands off of the bow and the stern. It's kind of holding together good. I may have to go back and re-glue this and maybe put a clothespin or something on there on both sections, because they're mostly sealed, but they're not 100% sealed. And of course, we still have the issue with the middle section not lining up correctly. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with that. I'm going to try and glue it together and then brace it. I've cut some pieces of sprue off, and what the guy on Facebook was showing me that he did was he got it together where it was sealed, and then he had a sprue as like a reinforcement on it, and several of them across the middle of the ship. So I'm going to give that a try and see what happens. So I'm having to apply a lot of pressure on it to keep this seam tight. And I'll hold on for as long as I can, and we'll see what happens. Once I feel like it's to the point where I can add the spruce, you know, I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, so it seems to be holding together pretty well, even in the bow and the stern section. If you hold the model up to the light, you can still see the light shining through very thinly through the crease, but I think it's livable. It doesn't seem to be separating. It was a lot of glue, a lot of patience And when I say a lot of glue, I actually knocked over my glue, and about not quite half the bottle spilled all over this paper. Luckily that's why I'm keeping this paper here. So I'll probably end up having to buy another bottle of glue before this build is over. But also thought I'd do something fun for a second. So while I've got the hull assembled, I thought I would do a comparison with the Titanic model that I did. And as you know, that ship is completed, and here it is. So this is a 1:4. The Arizona is a 1:426 scale. The Titanic model is a 1:700. So you can clearly see the difference. But in real life, of course, the Titanic was actually a much larger ship than the Arizona. The Arizona was 608 feet long with gross registered tons of 29,630. Whereas the Titanic was 882 feet long with GRT of 46,329. So just a little fun fact to throw out there. So yeah, I'm going to continue to let this hold for a while. May put some rubber bands and stuff back on it to just make sure that seam, it all stays glued really well together. And once I feel comfortable with that, the real fun begins. I'm going to attempt to try and paint this hull. That's going to be real interesting. So I've been doing most of the painting off camera just because I don't want this video to be an hour long. And painting is just such a tedious process, which I kind of knew going in, and I was expecting it. So so far I'm okay with that. As you saw, the hull is done. I've got the gun turrets, or the tops of them. The cannons themselves are ready to go. Most of the lifeboats are ready to go. I do need to touch these up on the insides, but the outsides are ready to go, including these two over here that had tops on them. The funnel is ready to go. It's kind of hard to see it. I know it's real small, but it is fully finished. I've been kind of doing things out of order just because, I don't know, it's what I do. The decks are painted, at least this is the stern section of the deck. It's just about done. I just cut the bow or the forward part of the deck off of the sprue. The decks didn't come out perfect, but I mean, they're good enough. And this here, this is the last major piece that I have to paint, which is going to be on the forward section. This actually sits on top of the forward deck. It's like a superstructure. And you can see the 2 gun turrets are going to go right there. So, and this is actually going to slide into the ship, or into the hull, I should say. So it just kind of goes in forward like so, and you just slide it into place. And there are these little, I'm not sure what the correct word is, but like these little, maybe nipples for a lack of a better word, that are on the sides of the hull that kind of let you pop it into place like so. There. And there's another one back here. I think I've got them all. Yep. So there's the forward part of the deck now inside the ship. We'll have to glue the sides because you can see it's a little loose there. And that'll just add further support to the hull. So that's where we're at right now, and we're going to start putting some superstructure and the aft deck on here and building it on up. so as you can see, I'm working on the Superstructure deck, and I'm coming into some issues here that don't quite make sense to me. For example, you see I've got these three pieces together. I've got them rubber band, letting the glue dry on them. Everything on them is lined up correctly, but I've got these stairs here that they go nowhere. So when you put this on the Superstructure, this is how it's going to go. It'll be just aft of that turret right there. As you can see, we've got stairs down here. Let me use this to point here and here. And then we've got these two stairs right here. But there's nothing, they lead to nowhere, because the funnel goes right here behind them. And you can see the stairs essentially stop right on the funnel. And you've got, I don't know if this is some type of, I mean, it's obviously a pipe of some sort, but why would stairs lead to that? I mean, that's just odd to me. I don't know why I've got stairs that lead nowhere. And you can see I've got the pieces lined up correctly. We've got the bottom piece right here is number 20. Then there's 19 with the two stairs. And then, I don't know, this V-shaped piece is 22. And then 23 is this top piece with the two poles going down. So they're all lined up perfectly. And another thing that's I find weird is on the top deck, you've got number 24 and number 25. And 25 goes into this hole, and then 24 sits on top of it, which, you know, that looks correct. And I've got 25 and 24 right there. But if 24 sits on top of 25, like so, why was there even a need to paint 25? It just makes no sense to me. And as I understand it, this model has been in production since 1959, and it even has the Revell's Revell's copyright, which is 1959, on the hull. I don't know if it's something to do with their mold or what the issue is. Maybe I'm not understanding something. If I'm missing something, someone can feel free to leave a comment and let me know, you know, what I'm not understanding. But that's how it's going to shake out, and we're just going to keep rolling with it. Okay, so the Superstructure deck is now ready to be placed onto the main forward deck. The instructions call for you to do, like all the decks up here, these upper decks, you put those on after you do the, you build the Superstructure deck. But I wanted to do it this way. That way I could use rubber bands, as you saw, to apply the appropriate pressure that I think it needed to keep the, or get a good tight lock using the glue to get these upper decks onto the Superstructure deck. I'm going to do the same thing with this. Once I get this on here and I apply the glue, I'm going to rubber band it together And then once it's nice and dry, I'll go ahead and finally slide that in here. And you've seen the deck, the front deck in here before, but I keep taking it out here and there because I've just been doing little touch-ups to that deck while I've been working on the ship. But I'll slide that into place, and once I'm done, I'm going to rubber band all around the hull and the deck while I glue the sides. That way we can get a good lock on there. That way the deck stays in place in the hull as it's supposed to. And I'll be doing the same with the stern section. As you can see, it's mostly finished as well. I've got one more little gun I've got to paint and put right here. There's another crane that goes right here. Well, crane may not be the correct word, but that's what I'm calling it. You see there's one right here on top of this turret. That's for the little planes. There's two planes, and one launches from this crane here on this turret, and then there's another one down here. And that's what that hole in the back hull is, or in the back of the deck is for. So that's where we're at, and as you can see, we're getting close to finish time here. It took an entire tube of this gray paint to paint this ship. So if I do another ship, warship that requires this gray paint, I'm going to have to buy some more of that. The bane of my existence as far as putting this ship together has been these masts, towers. This one, not so much. This is going to be the one that goes on the front of the ship, about right here. This guy right here has been a nightmare, because I'm trying to put it together and pieces keep falling off as I try to put them together. The white paint, I'm really unhappy with the white paint. I don't know if it's something that I'm doing, but, and it may not show up in the video, but it's like you really have to cake the white paint on in order for it to not show you know, the gray or whatever color the parts are before you actually paint them. And that's been a big problem, and it's the only one that's really doing that. So you know, if a more experienced builder of these models happens to watch this video and would care to leave something in the comments, you know, let me know if there's something I'm doing wrong, or is that just the way white paint is. And all it is it's Testors white, flat white paint. That's all it is. Alright, so as you can see, it's probably about 95% done. Now all I've got left is to put the little planes on, put the decals. I did buy this stuff here, Easy Line. It's supposed to simulate rigging, so for ships, amongst other things, as you can see, model railroads, airplanes, ships, etc. And I'm going to attempt to simulate some of the rigging. I don't know if I'll be able to get it all, but I'm going to try. And I'm actually working on the propellers right now. And I've got one of them in place. Might be kind of hard to see it. We're having a bit of an issue. Right here, you've got these holes where the propellers line up. So you take one piece, you put it into one side of the hull, then you take the other piece, and it's supposed to fit all nice and snug, but they're not doing that. So what I'm having to do is take a scalpel and cut open, or I stick the scalpel in these holes to open them up, make them wider. That way these things will fit in there. And as you can see, like I said, I've got one done. I've got to do the other three, and then the propellers will be done. Then I'll put the planes on, the decals, the rigging, and that'll be it. She will be complete. Okay, so that's my build of the USS Arizona. Um, I have to say I'm a lot more proud of this one than I am the Titanic one, for the main reason that I had to put so much more effort into this one, and I'm really ecstatic with how it came out. Um, Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, the subscribe button. It helps the channel greatly. It helps the channel grow and continue to expand. It enables me to continue putting out more content. This will not be the last ship I do. I've already got another one ordered that I'm waiting on to come in. And I will be doing a video on that one as well. And I kind of don't want to give it away, but at the same time, I kind of want to drop a hint as to which one it's going to be. So I'll leave you with this hint concerning the next ship. If I could turn back time, and until the next time, you know the drill. Drive safely.